Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm so excited to have you with us today. If you're learning English and want to speak more confidently in your everyday life, you're in the right place.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bill, and today's episode is going to be super useful, especially if you ever go shopping. And let's be honest, who doesn't?
Exactly. We're talking all about how to visit a supermarket in English, of course. Whether you're traveling, living abroad, or just practicing for fun, going to the supermarket is one of the most common and essential activities in daily life.
That's true. Think about it. You have to ask where things are, talk to the cashier, maybe return an item, or ask if something's on sale. And doing that in English can feel tricky if you don't know the right words or expressions.
So today, we'll help you with that. In this episode, you'll learn common supermarket vocabulary, real-life phrases and sentences you can use, a fun dialogue between a shopper and a store employee, and some practical tips to speak politely and naturally.
Plus, we've got a quiz and a fun challenge at the end, so stick around till the last minute.
All right, let's get started with a fun warm-up. Bill, when was the last time you went to the supermarket?
The last time I went to the supermarket? That was just 2 days ago. I ran out of coffee. Emergency situation.
Oh no. No coffee means no energy, right?
Exactly. I walked into the supermarket like a zombie. I went straight to the coffee aisle, grabbed the biggest jar I could find, and guess what? I also ended up buying cookies, chips, and ice cream. I didn't even plan to.
That sounds like me. I always go in for one thing and come out with 5. Last weekend, I went to buy some milk and bread, but I left with 2 bags full of snacks and even a new shampoo I didn't need.
Supermarkets are like that. Everything looks so tempting. And you know what I always forget?
Let me guess the shopping list?
Exactly. I make a list, and then I forget it at home. Every single time.
Same here. I think a lot of English learners can relate to this. Shopping can be fun, but it can also be confusing, especially in a different country where everything is in English.
Yes, different names for food. Signs like buy one, get one free, or limited time offer if you don't know the words. It's easy to feel lost.
That's why we're here today. We're going to break down everything you need to know about shopping in a supermarket in English.
And we'll keep it light, simple, and useful. So if you're listening at home, on the bus, or maybe even shopping right now, you're going to learn something helpful today.
Let's start with some useful words and phrases you'll hear all the time at the supermarket. Okay, let's talk vocabulary. When you walk into a supermarket, there are so many things around you. Signs, labels, sections. So let's go over some common English words and phrases you'll definitely hear or see.
Yes, we'll say each word, give a short meaning, and use it in a sentence so you can remember it easily.
Let's start with shopping cart. It's the big basket on wheels that you push around the store.
Right. You put your groceries inside it. Example, I grabbed a shopping cart before entering the store.
Next is aisle. That's the long space between 2 rows of shelves.
Yeah, supermarkets have many aisles. Example, the cereal is in aisle 5.
A cashier is the person at the counter who helps you pay.
They scan your items and give you the total. Example, the cashier was really friendly today.
Checkout is the place where you pay for your items.
It can also be a verb. Example, noun. Let's go to the checkout. Example, Verb, I'm ready to check out.
A receipt is the paper you get after you pay it, shows what you bought and how much you paid.
Example, don't forget to take your receipt.
Discount means a lower price. It's a deal.
Example, these apples are on discount today. 20% off.
A barcode is the black and white lines on products that the cashier scans.
Example, this item doesn't have a barcode. Can you check the price?
Frozen foods are things like ice cream, frozen vegetables, pizza. They're kept cold in a freezer.
Example, let's get some frozen vegetables for dinner.
The dairy section is where you find milk, cheese, butter, yogurt.
Example, you'll find the milk in the dairy section.
Organic means natural, no chemicals or artificial things added.
Example, she only buys organic vegetables.
That's a great list to get started. And remember, don't worry if you don't remember everything at once. You can always pause, repeat, and practice these words.
Exactly. And now that you know the vocabulary, let's put them into action in a real conversation. A supermarket role play. Coming up next.
Excuse me, can you help me? I'm looking for the dairy section.
Of course. It's just down this aisle and to your right. You'll see the milk and yogurt near the back wall.
Great, thank you. And do you have any almond milk?
Yes, we do. It's in the dairy section too, on the top shelf.
Perfect. Oh, and where can I find whole grain bread?
That would be in aisle 3, near the bakery items.
Thanks. Also, do you have any discounts on fruits today?
Yes, apples and bananas are 30% off. You'll find them in the produce section, right next to the entrance.
Nice. I love apples. One more thing, I forgot to grab a shopping cart. Are they near the entrance?
Yes, they're just outside the front door. You can grab one there.
Okay, I'll do that. And after I finish shopping, where do I go to pay?
You'll head to the checkout counters there right at the front, by the exit. A cashier will help you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your help.
You're very welcome. Let me know if you need anything else. Happy shopping.
And that was a simple, realistic conversation at the supermarket. We used many of the words we talked about earlier, like dairy, section, aisle, discount, shopping cart, and checkout.
Yep, and now it's your turn to listen again. Repeat, and even practice the conversation with a friend, or say it out loud by yourself.
Coming up next, we'll break down this conversation step by step so you understand all the useful phrases and how to use them correctly. All right, now let's break down that conversation and look at some useful phrases. If you're learning English, this part will help you sound more natural when shopping.
Yes, let's start with the first phrase.
This is a polite way to get someone's attention. You can use it anywhere, not just in a supermarket.
Right. It's great for asking staff members or even strangers if you need help. Try it. Excuse me, can you help me find the rice?
This phrase means you're trying to find something. You can replace dairy section with anything you need. Example, I'm looking for the bathroom.
It's more polite than just saying, "Where is it?" This is a great way to ask if a store has something. You can use it with anything. Do you have any eggs? Or do you have any shampoo?
And remember to say any, not just, do you have almond milk, but do you have any almond milk? Discount is a word we learned earlier. This is a good question to ask if you're trying to save money. From the
Yes, you can also say, "Is anything on sale today?" Or, do you have any special offers?
Another super useful question. You can use it to ask about anything in the store. Where can I find the rice? Where can I find the frozen foods?
Very flexible and polite. Head to just means go to. It's a very natural way to give directions.
Exactly. And checkout counters are the place where you pay for your groceries. So those are some of the most useful phrases from our role play. If you repeat them a few times, they'll become easier to remember and use.
Try saying them out loud with us. Pause the podcast if you need to. Practice makes perfect.
Coming up next, we'll give you some practical tips for speaking English confidently when you go shopping. Now that we've gone over vocabulary and practiced a real conversation, let's share some useful tips for speaking English at the supermarket.
Yes, these tips are simple, but they can make a big difference when you're trying to speak confidently in real life.
Before you visit the supermarket, think about what you need and practice saying it in English.
For example, write down phrases like, "Where can I find eggs?" Or, "Do you have any organic bananas?"
When you plan your words ahead of time, you'll feel less nervous.
Listen to native speakers on YouTube, movies, or real life, and repeat what they say.
Exactly. You can shadow their sentences and copy the tone, speed, and pronunciation.
Even repeating the cashier's phrases like, "Would you like a bag?" can help you learn naturally.
This is so important. Don't let fear stop you. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, just speak.
Yes, most people will understand you and appreciate that you're trying to speak English.
The goal is communication, not perfection.
If you forget a word, use a translation app or your notes.
You can even save pictures of the items you want to ask about. Just show the photo and ask, "Where can I find this?" So to review, prepare key phrases, listen and repeat, don't fear mistakes, and use your phone if needed.
With these tips, your next supermarket trip can be a great chance to practice English in real life.
Coming up next, we'll test what you've learned with a fun, interactive quiz. All right, it's time for a quick quiz to test your listening and vocabulary. Are you ready?
Let's see how much you remember. We'll ask a few questions. Try to answer them out loud before we say the correct answer.
What do you call the place where you pay for your groceries?
The answer is checkout counter or cash register. If you want to find yogurt, which section do you go to?
That's the dairy section. What's a polite way to ask for help in the store?
You can say, "Excuse me, can you help me?" How do you ask about lower prices?
You can say, "Are there any discounts?" Or, "Is anything on sale?" What do we call the thing you push around the store to carry your items?
That's a shopping cart.
Great job! If you got 3 or more right, you're doing awesome.
And if you missed a few, no worries, just rewind and practice again.
Coming up, our final segment, helpful phrases to practice on your own. Okay, friends, it's time for your real-life practice challenge. Are you ready?
Here's what we want you to do. Next time you go to the supermarket, try to speak at least 3 sentences in English.
You can use phrases like, "Where can I find the eggs? Do you have any discounts today? I'm looking for almond milk."
Don't worry about being perfect. Just try. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become.
If you don't go to a store soon, no problem, practice at home. Stand in your kitchen and say the names of items in English.
Or act out a shopping conversation in front of a mirror or with a friend.
It's all about taking action, one step at a time.
You've got this.
Well, that's all for today's episode about how to visit the supermarket in English. We hope you found it useful and fun.
Remember, practicing a little every day makes a big difference. Start small, speak confidently, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends who want to learn English too.
Yes! And if you have any questions or topics you want us to cover, please send us a message or comment below.
Thanks for listening and happy shopping in English.
See you next time on the English Learning Podcast.